Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you this really sweet end of summer card here. The state fair is coming up in a few days here in the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, and so I thought I'd better squeeze in another summer card before it's actually officially fall. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use some summery colors. The first color, of course, is our base cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and I've scored it at 4 1/4. It actually starts out like this, just a normal half sheet of paper, and then you fold it in half again to make your card base. And the next step is some Cucumber Crush, another one of our 2015-17 in colors. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And we will also need a panel that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches in Whisper White. This is our outside panel. And then we will need our inside panel, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the inside panel because there's not a lot of stamping to that, and we can do that nice and quickly. So we're going to start by putting our paper onto a Stampin' mat. This is a Stampin' Pierce mat from Stampin' Up, and I just throw a little bit of scrap paper on there. Then I put my inside panel, which is 4 by 5 1/4 down, and then I have this wonderful vine that's put on a block eye. I don't know, did I show you the stamp set? Let me see. It looks like this. It's Floral Wings, and you can get it as a hostess from Stampin' Up, or a host, and you can get that when you place either a personal order of 150 or more, or if you host or hostess a party. So we are just going to set this little sprig of vine right down here towards the bottom. Look how beautifully that's stamped. That's one of the reasons I'm using the stamp mat, is I just want to make sure that my stamping turns out really nice. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but on these photopolymer stamps, these clear see-through ones, you do not have any cushion on there. See how skinny that is? So you need to make your cushion on your stamping surface, which is why we have the Stampin' Pierce mat. So I usually get 2 mats, one that's for stamping and then one that's for piercing. And you know, I have to admit, I haven't used my piercing mat in quite a while. I have to dig that out again. Now this is the Watermelon Wonder in color, and it is going to be great with this Cucumber Crush. So I've just got the little rose here. And then if you'll notice on this vine, there's some little spots where there sort of looks like a little sprig, and wherever the end of that sprig is where you want to put your little rose. So we're going to put one here, and then one there, and one there, and then this one's kind of off the page, but that's okay. And then just for good time's sake, we'll throw one up here even though there's not a sprig. All right, so that looks pretty good. So now we can go ahead and put that on the inside panel of our card. And I like to use, let me get this out of the way, and this out of the way. I like to use a little bit of snail. There's no reason to put snail all over on your inside panel. It'll look actually more elegant, and it'll stay up there just fine. Snail holds really, really well as long as it's burnished down. So there we go. So we have the inside panel done. Now we're going to work on our outside panels. So this is the smaller piece of Whisper White, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. We're going to do the bulk of the rest of our stamping on this panel. So we're going to grab some Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And honestly, this is the only ink that I personally would recommend for using with photopolymer. We have a new black archival ink that will be coming out in a few days with the new holiday catalog. And it will stain your stamps to the point where you cannot get that stain off no matter what you do. And for the photopolymer, if your stamp is totally stained, it sort of defeats the purpose of it being photopolymer. So we're going to put this up here and give it a good little press. And isn't that beautiful? Now you may notice, now with the butterfly it's kind of a no-brainer, but there's a little twig of extra photopolymer here, and that helps you line up your stamp so you know which is up. Now obviously the butterfly is, you know, we can kind of figure that out. But with some of these other images, such as the leaves, it's a little bit more difficult. So it's nice to have that indicator here to tell us which way is up. So now I'm going to ink this up with our Cucumber Crush, and we're going to stamp the leaves inside this image. So I just have to make sure that I get that little sprig straight up and down on the butterfly. So I'm just looking to line up that indicator with the top of the butterfly. So that's all I'm looking at. I'm not even really looking at where the leaves are falling, because if I do all of that other stuff right, the leaves should about fall where they may. Now we're going to ink up the roses, and we're going to do the same thing. Just get that indicator in there right, and then our roses fall in there right. Now it looks like I did get the leaves a little off. It's hard for me to do this on video because I can't put my head directly over the top of where I'm stamping. So I did get the green leaves a little off, but that's okay because it just gives it a more whimsical look, and you can certainly see that there are leaves there. So now we're going to stamp the bottom half here. So I'm going to ink that up with Cucumber Crush, and we're just going to put our little vine down at the bottom. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the inside. We're just going to stamp that little rose wherever those little stems are. And then of course, because I kind of like a lot of roses, I'm going to put a couple extra ones in. There we go. Looks beautiful. Then there's one more thing that we're going to do. We're going to stamp our sentiment right above these roses. So I have the sentiment just for you, and I'm just going to stamp that right there. And there it is, all done. All the stamping is done. So now we just have to put this onto our Cucumber Crush panel. So we'll just layer that in like so. And then I have two ribbon strips, both of them cut at the same, whoops, I must have had some ink on my fingernail. Oh, don't you hate that? You have everything totally stamped and then you end up with ink. But this ink actually is put in a good spot because we're going to cover that up with ribbon, so no one is ever going to see it. So we're going to just wrap this ribbon around. This is our new In Color ribbon. It's in our Watermelon Wonder color. And so we'll wrap that around to both sides. And we're just securing it with Scotch tape. Then I'm going to take the other strip of ribbon. These strips, by the way, are both at 5.5 inches. And I'm just going to put that in here, and then we're going to tie that on. So just a once over is all you need. And isn't that cute? Oh, that looks so cute. So let me get my ribbon scissors, and we can just trim this up so beautifully. So wait, it looks nice and finished. There we go. Now it's just a matter of putting this onto the front of our card. So all we have to do again is use a little bit of snail. And this time I'm going to use a little bit more because I want to burnish it down here pretty good. The ribbon, you have a little bit more tension on the front of your card. So there, we're just going to set this right in so it's nice and even on all four sides. And doesn't that look just gorgeous? So that card is done. Here's the card I started with. This is the Love Ya card, and here's the Just For You card. I would send these to just anybody. I love them. So hope you have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. And if you'd like to place an order at my website, be sure to visit it. And if you need a demonstrator, be sure to let me know, and I can get a catalog out to you if you don't already have someone that you're working with. Have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.